Use the Edge Cutter and SimpleCut software to create your own custom stencils from text. You can then use the paint that you select and apply these to your projects to customize them. In the software, begin by selecting the text tool, clicking on the screen, and typing your text. Then select the Rectangle Select tool and resize your text using a corner sizing handle for proportional or resizing width or length independently until you have your text exactly the correct size for your project. To make sure that the center portions of the letters don't fall out when you're creating a stencil, you'll use the Create Rectangle tool, select it, click and drag to create a long, thin rectangle, come back and select your rectangle selection tool. Place that over the top of your letter and use the sizing handles on the top and the bottom of the rectangle to create the appropriate shape to cut a small piece out of your lettering. You can use the zoom tool to zoom in and use the arrows on your keyboard to position that rectangle so that these gaps can be created in the lettering. With the rectangle selection tool highlighted, click and drag over all of the objects. You could also do an edit, select all. Come up to the upper menu and select the Trim Shapes command. Trim, select the rectangle and move it off to the side and place it over the next letter that you would like to trim. Resize the rectangle until it's appropriate for that letter. Use the arrows on the keyboard to correctly position. Select both items by clicking and dragging a bounding box over both, and then reselect the Trim command. Click and move the rectangle. Once you've created all of the gaps that are required for the stencil shape, select and delete the rectangle. Select your lettering and make sure that you have a dark color selected for the outline of your lettering. From the upper menu, come to File, drop down to Export, Crystals to Cutter. In the cutting dialog, you'll be able to preview your stencil. Make sure that you do a test and trace the area for cutting the stencil before selecting Cut. Cut your stencil, remove it from the mat, and use it as many times as you would like for creating your projects.